It all starts with better crop nutrition, all of it. That's the common denominator that every one of the yield contest winners use.
How is growing corn 5 miles from the ocean different than growing corn 50 miles from Lake Michigan?
The soil types be a whole lot different. I'm sure they're taking care of their ground the same way we are, giving it what it needs when it needs it. If your soil is healthy, obviously your crop's going to do what it needs to do.
You know, we're at the beginning of the Les Hills, and I've always heard the only other spot like this is Hill Range in China. When I was 10 years old, there's a lot of tillage. We have had to retake care of it, reclaim some of it, where we are now 100% no-till, and the topsoil's improving, the biology's improving, the organic matter's improving.
On this farm, we've got a little more sand, a little more gravel. So we've been irrigating here since, been over 30 years now already, I guess. That's helped the ground quite a bit. We've got better organic matter because of it, because we're producing a lot of fodder.
We're returning more of the nutrients that we stored in the fodder into our fertility program. That's the only way I can explain it, because we went for years without applying any potash to our irrigated. And look at the withdrawals we're getting with 450 bushel corn. I mean, they're huge.
Du Bois County is the poultry capital of the world. Over the years, we got high P levels from the manure application. So 4 or 5 years ago, when we switched to Agrison, our dealer, and he asked what our problem was, even though we got such high P levels in our soil, we just can't get it into the plant. So he said, well, here's a product, Accomplish, try that. And right off the bat, we were 0.1, 1.5 higher on our tissue samples coming right out of the gate. So year after year, we started running a little bit more, and the more we were running, the less commercial fertilizer we were having to buy.
What I like to think of a product like Accomplish as is it's trying to capture the essence of the value that's in that manure. Now, they called it a fertilizer catalyst because one thing it does is it helps make immobile nutrients more available. There is a whole vast source of nutrients in the soil, and if we can make some of those more available, that has a real value.
The biggest challenge I have is uniformity of stand. And your north side of your hill can be so much colder than the south side of your hill. So when we want to start planting corn and the ground is cold, the corn doesn't all come up even. And by using things like Riser, Accomplish, Radiate, that helps even that out.
Because they Accomplish, we're feeding the microbes, we're pushing that microbial activity and the mineralization, and we're giving ourselves nutrients. That's the big thing. My soil test, we have climbed, and that's due to that fodder breaking down and returning that nutrient to us. So it's a big deal.
When you walk in a field, what do you see? The top part of the plant. But in reality, everything about nutrient cycling or fertilizer applications involves the roots. And when we add things like fertilizers, how do those interact with the soils? And then you add the biocatalysts together to create a systems approach. How do the plant, the microbes, and the other aspects of soils communicate with each other to create that productive system? Once you know that story, you then know exactly where that product is acting, and you can better fit it into the system for the growers to maximize response.
You can't put 500 bushel worth of fertilizer out one time. You have to build that soil and fill that gas tank, and it has to become an organic way. It can't be just commercial fertilizer that does that. We have to take care of the biology. And if we can take care of the biology of the soil, the plant is secondary. It's just, it's what happens when we do a good job with the biology.